For USCFootball.com, I'm Keely Eure here with Dan Weber. Instant analysis of day 6 of fall camp, and obviously the big news of today, full scrimmage, full pads. First real football we actually got to see so far.
Yeah, I like the way they did it. It was basically a regular practice, except whenever they did 11 on 11, it became full scrimmage. So, you know, it was the same number of plays. They probably ran 50 to 60 where they had live tackling, where they had, you know, full go everything. And what was different, two things. They had 7-man Pac-12 crew here, and that was good. And the coaches were not in the huddles. The coaches were using the headsets, and they were calling the plays like they were doing it in a game, which puts them probably a couple of weeks ahead of where they would have been able to do this last year. It's such a different, and all of a sudden you realize what it means to have a Sam Darnold back. You know, he's in charge, he's in control, he's really good. And this was his best practice of the year by far, according to, you know, Clay. And I don't think there's any question, he was really good, but he wasn't the only one.
Clay Helton said the offense was the clear winner of the day. You know, Deonte Burnett, he had that connection with Sam Darnold. Another guy, Stephen Carr, he had, I think, almost 3 touchdowns. One got called back for a penalty, but he was on fire today.
He's really, really, really good. I mean, you can see why there were some people last year who said, no, he's not the number 2 running back in the country to the kid that went to Alabama. He's the number 1 running back. You could make the case after watching today that may be the case. He's so under control. His ability to see where the play's opening up and his ability to change directions, totally under control. I mean, we haven't really gotten to see that yet. Obviously, they've only been in pads a couple of days, but we saw it today. And, you know, a couple of times he's just sprinting, you know, once he's made that change, now he's sprinting to the goal line and he just beats everybody there. I mean, he's got, you know, for 210 pounds and, you know, first time, you know, on a college field, he's really, really good.
Though the defense, quote unquote, won. Helton wasn't concerned about the defense. Did I say the offense won? The offense won, but Helton wasn't concerned about the defense. He pointed out how Uchenna Nua, so at the end, he called together the defense. He said, these guys aren't used to being scored on, and Uchenna made him know that that's not what they do here. Yeah,
there were some loud conversations on the defense side of the ball. I mean, one of the things we did see that we really like is the ability of defenders like Porter Gustin and Uchenna to get up in passing lanes and knock the ball down. You didn't see that as much last year, but I think the offense really went after him, and they're you know, moving guys around that offensive line. Toa and Nico alternating at center, and Toa moving out to tackle. Clay mentioned, you know, 6 or 7 other guys that he thought, you know, for the offensive line are doing really well, and even you know, Andrew Voys and Austin Jackson, 2 freshmen. So it's a kind of a work in progress, but they are, you know, I know people were worried about they're not as big as the Zach Banner and the, you know, Damian Mama crew, but they look quicker. They are quicker. I mean, there's no question they're more athletic. They get in people's faces. They get in the way. And when you've got running backs like Ronald Jones, who had done so much yesterday, they kind of let him go, although he had a couple of really good plays, but they didn't. They wanted to see the younger guys. Aka Cedric also had a couple of good runs, but they really wanted to see Stephen Carr and Vavai. Vavai did some really good stuff on the goal line, caught a screen pass in the red zone, and he's also 210 pounds, and he's a bull. And both of them catch the ball, both of them block. They're really, and they ought to be thrilled with the 2 young running backs. I mean, one's a redshirt freshman, the other's a freshman. That's pretty good.
As far as first-team receivers go, we saw obviously Deonte Burnett, Jalen Green, Tyler Vaughns. He was there. He got targeted a lot. And when asked about it, Helton said he's the guy who makes the catches we need on this team. He said that he referenced Juju Smith-Schuster and Darius Rogers, who made tough catches last season. He said Tyler Vaughns is someone who can do that for them.
Yeah, Tyler's out there with Deonte and Jalen in that first group, and they target him right away. Caught the first pass of the scrimmage, caught a big touchdown pass in the far end zone, covered, you know, perfectly, it looked like, by Biggie, and ball was there. He caught it. He's really, I mean, they really like him, and he's, you know, they're showing a lot of faith in him, because there are a lot of guys, you know, Michael Pittman keeps making plays. Velus Jones made a big big play, explosive play that has them all excited as well. But Tyler Vaughn's just looks like he's just one of those really persistent guys who's going to get open, and he's going to, if the ball hits him in the hands, he's going to catch it.
As far as injury updates go, we're a little concerned seeing Josh Follow on crutches today, but Helton said no worries, just a bone bruise. He'll take it day by day. Tyler Petit got a little dinged up. He's on concussion protocol. So right now, the tight end position is a little thin.
Yeah, and Daniel Matterbaby's still out with that flexor. The good news there is it gives, say, Kerry Angeline a chance to go with the first group, and that's always a good thing. But I think they've still been fairly, fortunate in terms of, their health situation. The other issue today was Marvell Tell, I guess, came down with a little bit of a tight hamstring, and they just decided, well, we'll just hold him back. What it does is it gives a chance to play a kid like Isaiah Polamalu, who they're really pleased with. He's 6'4" and can fly, and we saw him make a couple of plays today. I don't think I realized how much speed he's got, but I mean, that's the nice thing. If you've got depth, you can, if somebody can't go, you can give somebody else a chance, and that's maybe what we weren't used to seeing in years past. And now you've got somebody there, you can say, well, let's give him a shot.
I think it's hard to understand how this team just looks like mid-season form. I mean, how would you compare this first scrimmage to last year's first scrimmage?
Yeah, they're way ahead. I mean, the one place that and Clay talked about why they were glad they had officials here was this team is a little handsy, and that they got maybe 6 flags for guys with the hands in the wrong place, and that's something. I mean, they're trying really hard. This is guys you're playing against are faster, and they're in places you didn't expect them to be. But this was a good learning lesson. They're bringing them all back tonight, and as Clay said, cannot wait to watch the film. So they're going to have a big night here with everybody watching the first film of the year, and I think it'll be a real instructive Saturday evening for these guys at the movies.
All right, any final thoughts from today's scrimmage?
Just it was such a pleasure to watch Sam Darnold back in action, in control, in charge, and doing what he does. It's just practice is not the same as getting to see him out there in full pads and kind of in a game-like situation, and that makes you smile. And when you think, okay, he's on USC's side.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for day 6 of fall camp. For Dan Weber, I'm Keely Eure. For more, check out uscfootball.com.